Alright, TBV, all my Patreon people. Here we go with some behind the scenes. Gennady Golovkin, Triple G, Madison Square Garden. For all my international listeners that have never been to the Garden, here you go. The front row view at the house. And this is all being filmed on the new gyro that I got last year. Let's get closer to the belts. How you doing?
Good to see you, man. How's everything?
Likewise, great. Let's get closer to the belts for you guys. Look at that. That's that IBO that people say no one cares about. And WBA, IBF, WBC. Now, yo, Jacobs doesn't have his version of the WBA I guess because these are what matter. But where is that Ring Magazine belt? Canelo still has that Ring Magazine belt. Let's give you another walkthrough here. Some more posters. Tecate is the sponsor. As you can see, got the Madison Square Garden security. More backdrop here. Golovkin, Jacobs, and early. We're here early. What is empty? My man Brooklyn Fights right there.
Big Ness, what's good, baby?
What's up? All right.
How you been,
Nice to see you. All right. And we're back. And behind the scenes, Gennady Golovkin. Ladies and gentlemen, looks like we got a lot of Golovkin fans already here with their flags. They're distributing them amongst each other. So, expect to see a lot of Kazakhstan flags being pumped in the air. Conference coming back up. About to start now. More people arrive. MSG.
The Garden will play host to one of the most significant championship fights in many years. It's champion versus champion. It's power versus power. It's knockout artist versus knockout artist. Let's meet the champions. Here you go, baby. And now, the Olympic medalist from Kazakhstan. As a professional, 36 fights, 36 victories, including 33 big wins by knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the undefeated Gennady Golovkin, a.k.a. Triple G! Well, ladies and gentlemen, this will be the official press conference for the official announcement of this contest. And let's welcome the teams and their members to the stage. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be middleweight madness on Saturday night, March 18th. So for all the fans that have come here to the official announcement, and for all the fans around the world that are anticipating this fight, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready for March middleweight madness. Let me introduce to the microphone at this time the Managing Director of K2 Promotions, Mr. Tom Loeffler.
Thank you, Michael. I mean, that's a tremendous introduction for both of these champions here on the podium, and I think it just kind of sets the stage at the type of promotion this is going to be for March 18th. I mean, we have a tremendous turnout here from the media, and the reaction that we've gotten from both the media and the fans alike once we officially announced the fight has been tremendous. We can't thank enough everyone involved in putting a promotion like this together. You know, Gennady started his career here in Madison Square Garden. This will be the 5th time he's fighting, and when you have a champion like Danny Jacobs from Brooklyn, New York, with the support that he brings and everything that he's accomplished in his career, it's just it's a fight that sells itself. It's two truly great ambassadors for the sport of boxing. Both fighters, both champions have respect for each other, and that's, I think, what you'll see as the theme of this promotion, is that when it's so rare these days, unfortunately, in boxing, but when the two best in their division are fighting each other, that's what the fans respond to. And we want to just acknowledge, when you see here with the setup, the last time that we've had a press conference here in the main arena in Madison Square Garden, here with Garden Vision coming down behind the stage, and just everything that MSG has gone through to host this fight. We want to really thank Joel Fisher and everyone and his staff at MSG. Fights like this couldn't be done without a broadcast partner. This will be an HBO pay-per-view, and it's a tremendous event coming together. I just wanted to just quickly go over a couple of things as far as the promotion itself. The ticket prices start at $100, and we've had a tremendous reaction from the fans as far as the ticket purchases. The last event that we've done here was in October of 2015, and this event, because of everything that Danny Jacobs brings to the table with him, the response to the ticket sales is well above that event that was sold out the last time we held a fight here. So with that, I'd like to bring to the podium both champions were at the Knicks game last night. Had a tremendous reception from the fans. So with that, I'd like to bring up the host for this event from Madison Square Garden, Joel Fisher.
Thank you, Tom, and welcome everybody today to Madison Square Garden. Today is another exciting day in the sport of boxing. As you know, we've hosted numerous World Championship fights here at the Garden in a ring 20 feet behind me. All of the legends in boxing, Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier, Sugar Ray Robinson, Joe Louis, Rocky Marciano, the list just goes on and on and on, have fought here. And we look forward to March 18th to being another great night in the history of Madison Square Garden boxing. Now, I need to take a minute to really thank Tom and Al Heyman. As we know, the negotiations for this fight took a long time and were not easy. We had hoped to do this fight in December, but these guys stuck at it. They never wavered, and they got it done. And it's due to them that we're going to see this great fight on March 18th. The fight is in the right place. The fans in New York and around the world want to see the fight here. It's the right place, Madison Square Garden, the mecca of boxing. I want to welcome Danny. He started his career here with the Golden Gloves. We all know the challenges that Danny has gone through. He's a great guy, a great ambassador for boxing. I want to wish him the best of luck and welcome him to where he should be fighting, Madison Square Garden. Gennady, we've developed a tremendous relationship with you and your entire team. It's great to have you home. You've had some of your biggest fights here, some of your greatest victories here. You're also a great guy and a tremendous ambassador to boxing, so we welcome both of you. It's great to be working with Tom and his entire staff. There's nobody better. They do it right, they're great people, and they're great to work with. Peter Nelson and HBO, nobody does it better than HBO, and I really want to throw a thank out to Peter, because as part of the negotiations, this couldn't have gotten done if he didn't get really involved and help out with the negotiations. And lastly, and a lot of you probably don't know this, but I need to really thank the WWE. Everybody says, why the WWE? Well, we had an event booked on March 18th with the WWE, and they are just tremendous partners. They realized the magnitude of this event and the fact that we needed to have it here. It had to be at Madison Square Garden. So with their cooperation and partnership, they were willing to move off the date and made this date possible. So I really want to thank all the people, all the great people at the WWE. We look forward to seeing everybody on March 18th, and as Tom said, tickets are going quickly. There is no doubt this will be a sellout, and this will be another historic night of boxing in Madison Square Garden. Thanks for coming today.
Thank you, Joel. And that really symbolizes the commitment that MSG has made to this event. When you have a fully booked event, the magnitude of WWE, and then to move that off that date, it just shows the commitment that Joel and MSG have to putting this event together. Not only from the arena perspective, but from the television perspective. I mean, this event will be broadcast in over 100 countries worldwide. When you have two champions like this getting in the ring, it's not just an event in New York City, it's not just an event in the United States, it's really a worldwide event, and that's the true definition of both of these champions that they bring in the ring with them, is the definition of a world champion. So I'd like to bring up someone who was very integral in Gennady's career. There's no secret when I first started working with Gennady and his managers, Oleg and Max Herman, their desire was to fight here in the United States. So first thing I did was made appointments with both HBO and Showtime and said, look, I have an undefeated, I'm working with an undefeated middleweight champion from Kazakhstan, and the resistance that I had met with the U.S. television was enormous. But Peter Nelson definitely had the vision and the foresight to see what Gennady could accomplish, not only in the ring, but outside the ring as just a marketable entity. So without Peter's foresight and his support at HBO, we wouldn't be here. They've been very committed to not only Gennady's career, but this event with Danny Jacobs. So with that, I'd like to bring up Peter Nelson from HBO.
Thank you, Tom, and I want to thank all the media for being here. Great events like this can't come together without your support. I want to thank Joel Fisher, your whole team over at the Garden. I want to echo Joel's comments about the WWE and the spirited partnership that they shared in moving an event so that this event could take place in its natural habitat. These two fighters deserve to fight in this building for what's at stake for both of them and their careers. Gennady Golovkin has been on a meteoric rise. He's been fighting for years now against whoever the best opponent is who's willing to get in the ring against him. He's been willing to travel to their home country. He's been willing to overpay them to get in the ring against him. He's been willing to bend over backwards and do whatever it takes in order to make sure that he lands the big fights that the fans want to see. And yet we've still seen again and again that fighters have run away from him. So when Tom mentioned to me that this fight was actually going to happen, the Mark Twain line that a lie can go halfway around the world before the truth can get on its boots. What I had been told again and again was that this is never going to happen. And so while I echo Joel's sentiments, I echo Tom's sentiments, it's great that we all work together. Ultimately, the credit is due to Gennady Golovkin and Danny Jacobs, because these two fighters get in the ring against each other. They get in the ring for all the big fights that are offered to them. And they know what's at stake in this sport at this moment, which is that you have two fighters fighting for top pound-for-pound type supremacy in this fight. Gennady has fought boxers, and Gennady has fought punchers. But Danny Jacobs is both a boxer and a puncher. Gennady's never fought anyone like that before. And similarly, Danny hasn't fought anyone like Gennady Golovkin. So we don't know what we're going to see on March 18th. That's what's so compelling about this fight. That's why everyone, as soon as they heard Triple G Jacobs, they said, oh, 3 words, that is big. I keep hearing it everywhere I go, because everyone knows it. And so this fight on this date, and I'm sure Tom's gonna fill out the undercard with the co-features with great co-feature fighters, but that main event sings. And Gennady's from a place where the guys that he was, growing up, walking through the streets against were far tougher than anyone you meet in Brooklyn. And Danny Jacobs, obviously, in battling cancer, has already fought and beaten an opponent far tougher than anyone he's going to seek in the ring. So we know the caliber of character in these two men. And that's why we're proud to be associated with this event on HBO pay-per-view. I'd be remiss if I didn't thank a couple folks on my team, Jonathan Goss and Tony Walker at pay-per-view. Again, I want to thank the fighters, their teams, Max and Oleg. The spirit of partnership from you guys has just been tremendous. Abel, working with you all these years, fantastic. Danny, thank you again. Andre, always good to see you. And we look forward to seeing you all March 18th, HBO pay-per-view. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. Not only did Peter have the foresight of putting Gennady on HBO, I would say he was very supportive and had the foresight of putting Chocolatito Gonzalez on HBO. Chocolatito is pretty much universally considered as the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world. here now to officially announce that Chocolatito Gonzalez will be the co-feature of the fight. He'll be fighting his WBC mandatory fight from Thailand, Sisraket. Many people are also, just like the projections are, this fight will be the toughest fight for both of these champions sitting here. Many people are projecting that Sisraket will be the toughest fight that Chocolatito has been in. So whenever you can combine the talents of a Gennady Golovkin, a Danny Jacobs, of a Chocolatito Gonzalez, of a Sisraket from Thailand, I mean, that's true value for the fans, and that's what we were looking for when we put this program together. With that, not only from the arena and the television perspective, but an event like this wouldn't be possible without the strong support of the sponsors of this event. I'd like to briefly acknowledge the sponsors, Expo 2017. Gennady is an ambassador for, world ambassador for Expo. It'll be happening this summer in Kazakhstan. Also Tesna Bank from Kazakhstan, and Capital Holdings. The title sponsor for this event is ThaBoxingvoice, and the support that ThaBoxingvoice has given the boxing industry, especially these high-level events on pay-per-view, is tremendous. So with that, I'd like to bring up Gustavo Guerra from ThaBoxingvoice to say a few words.
Thank you, Tom. Good morning. Over the past 10 years, Tecate and Tecate Light have emerged as the authority in boxing. When consumers see Tecate in a fighter's home,
everyone, Happy New Year's for those who haven't seen. And I want to thank everyone involved with this promotion. K2, Peter from HBO, one of my dear friends, Gennady, Abel Sanchez. This is my guy here. We're gonna have fun. We've been told that we were running, we were afraid, we didn't want to fight Gennady, and I'm here to tell you that that's entirely not true. This young man here, his name is Daniel Jacobs. I call him my son, and he has fought the hardest fight he could ever have in life. Everything after that is just a walk in the park. And I literally mean a walk in the park, because he fears no man. And when he gets in the ring on March 18th, he will show all those who didn't believe what he's really about. We're gonna work hard, we're gonna train hard. I'm a big fan of this young man here. He's a class act, a gentleman. But on March 18th, I don't know who he is. I don't want to know who he is, because what my fighter has to do in inflicting punishment and garnering a victory will make me that person who can't stand here and say, I like him. I won't like him on March 18th. Maybe after the fight I will. Thank you very much. I'm looking forward to this. Have a great day.
Thank you, Andre. I think you'll find throughout the promotion that the trainers are probably going to be speaking a lot more than the fighters in this promotion. But Andre's a great guy. He's proven his quality as far as his training and the success that he's had in the ring, not only with Danny, but with numerous other fighters. As Andre alluded to, whenever you have a knockout in the first round over undefeated, former world champion Peter Bowen, I mean, that's just a huge statement. I'd say arguably you have two of the biggest punchers sitting up here as champions in front of you. So I agree that this fight won't see the 12th round. That's what intrigues the fans. Just like Andre said, there were a lot of accusations that, and I've heard them as well, as far as Danny didn't want the fight. But at the same time, there were just as many accusations saying Gennady didn't want to fight Danny Jacobs, that he didn't want to fight as mandatory. So I think the fact that both champions are sitting up here, both teams, is a true testament to the fact that each one wants to prove that they're the best. There is no rematch clause in this fight. This is for all the marbles. As many belts as Gennady has here on display. If he doesn't win March 18th, they're going to be on this side of the table. So that's really the intrigue behind this fight. It's all or nothing, and that's really the definition of two gladiators getting into the ring on March 18th. I'd like to introduce someone that has really been the blueprint for Gennady's career, especially here in the United States. There's no question that Gennady's always had God-given talent and punching power. He's had a number of knockouts in the amateurs, tremendous amateur record, just like Danny had a tremendous amateur record. Abel was able to refine that raw power that Gennady brought with him and really turn it into what everyone characterizes now as the Mexican style. It's just the pressure, cutting off the ring, non-stop combinations, and has resulted in 23 knockouts in a row. I think this might actually be a record. Some of the boxing historians out there should look this up, but with Danny having 12 knockouts in a row and Gennady with 23 knockouts in a row, when you have two fighters entering the ring with 35 consecutive knockouts on their resume, that's a huge statement for the punching power that both of these champions display. With that, I want to bring up the professor, the mad scientist from Big Bear, California, from the Summit Gym, Abel Sanchez.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you to you all for your attendance. First, I want to say to Danny, thank you for being the gentleman that you are, and a man of character. 2.5 years ago, he won the title, and the first thing that we were hearing him say is that he felt he wasn't ready for the elite. He felt he needed some 10 or 12 round fights to be ready to fight the, and I think you mentioned Gennady's name. Once the fight got ordered, Danny started talking like a champion should, wanting the fight. With two guys going into the ring with better than a 90% KO ratio, I think that it's fair to say that somebody's going out. I think Andre and I understand the significance and the importance of this fight for the middleweight division and for boxing. So we're looking forward to matching wits. I know we're going to have fun along the promotion. We're going to talk about each other, but it's all in jest. It's all in promoting, and it's all in getting the two best fighters in the ring to put on a great show for all of us. Thank you.
Before we bring Danny up, I didn't have a chance earlier to thank everybody. I want to mainly thank Tom Loeffler for being patient throughout 3 months. We asked for a lot of details to make this fight happen. I know every fighter thanks Al Heyman in the ring, but I want to thank Al Heyman personally. We talked probably every night for 3 months, and I think Danny and I had a lot of demands because we wanted to make sure the business side of the fight was right, so Danny could go in being 100% comfortable. And you know, Al Heyman was really patient. I know he really went to bat for us, and really he got everything that we asked for. So I wanted to thank him as well. 14 years ago, I walked into a Golden Gloves preliminary fight, and I see this kid, and he's warming up, and you know, he just had a different glow about him. He literally had this magical glow about him. He had a swag I had never seen in a kid that age. So Danny gets up in the ring. I had no idea who he was. They introduced him. He looked like the next Sugar Ray Leonard. He had hand speed I'd never seen before in an amateur fighter. So after the fight happens, you know, Danny wins. A couple minutes later, I see him out in the crowd. I went up to him and I introduced myself and asked him who he was. And I said, so when do you fight again? He said, give me your number. I'll give you a call and let you know. 2 weeks later, he called me. He told me when he was fighting. I went down and watched him fight again, and the relationship grew from there. And it's really not a manager-fighter relationship. It's really like a friendship, almost like family. Our families hang out together, our kids hang out together, and I've been telling them every day for 14 years that one day you're going to get to the top of the sport and you're going to be in a mega fight, a super fight, a pay-per-view fight, and we're now at that level. I don't know if you ever believe me, but we've been talking about it probably every week for 14 years, so we're finally here. I really, really think he's going to shine. I think he's going to show a lot of people something different, something they didn't expect. So without further ado, I want to introduce my friend Gennady Jacobs.
So I have a couple of people I would like to thank. First of all, thank everyone for being here today. This is the fight that I've always wanted. This is the pinnacle that you could possibly reach to consider yourself the best. I have the utmost respect for Gennady and his team. I believe that these guys are the best in the middleweight division, and I have to come and I have to prove to the world, and I have to shock the world, and I have to let them know that I am the best. I feel in my heart that throughout my all trials and tribulations I've been throughout my life, the Creator would not get me this far to let me fail. If I'm 100% mentally, physically prepared, there's going to be a new undisputed middleweight champion of the world. Back to those people who I wanted to thank. Al Heyman, for always being in my corner, giving me an opportunity to be able to display my skills on such a national, international level. Keith Connolly, it's like my brother who's been there for me since day one. Andre Rozier, my trainer, the head man in charge. My late great trainer, Victor Roundtree, who will be watching on. My family, who I love very dearly. My son, Nathaniel Jacobs, the biggest boxing fan you'll see in the world. I do this for him. And I was just thinking about it like last week. And he was doing some homework at the table and he got so frustrated. He just, he was trying to quit. He was trying to figure out ways he could get out of doing this tough homework. I was just telling him, you have to be great. You have to be different. When times get tough, you have to take on those challenges. Because if it wasn't hard, and if it was easy for anybody, then anybody can do it. But it takes a special person to be able to face the toughest challenges in life and overcome. So that's my mission in this fight. Not only to prove to the world, but to prove to my son that when you set your mind to anything that you do, no matter who believes you, no matter who think you can, as long as you believe in yourself, anything is possible. And I've proved that time and time again. And I believe this is no different. I believe this is the pinnacle, like I've said before, as far as opponents. And the belt says it all. He is one of the best middleweights. And I look forward to challenging myself. I look forward to having a great camp. We have all the attributes. And we have all the players to make this camp awesome. I want to thank so many people who played a part in this. My family over at the Brooklyn Boxing, Madison Square Garden for allowing us to have this fight here. HBO, so many other people who just follow our careers and allow this opportunity to be big, because this is truly one of the biggest fights that will be in the middleweight division, and especially this year. I'm just excited. I've wanted this fight after I think Abel got it wrong, but before the WBA mandated this fight, I called Gennady, I'm sorry, I'll just call him Triple G. Sorry, I have a hard time with your name. I called Triple G out after the Sergio Moore fight, and immediately after the WBA mandated it. So for me, it was a perfect opportunity. It was a perfect time for this fight to happen. I'm glad it's finally happening, and it's in my hometown. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a sold-out crowd. I look forward to seeing everyone. And yeah, I don't really know what else to say, but my fists are really going to do the talking inside that ring. We can go, we can blase and talk your ears off. At the end of the day, it's about fight night.
And as a fighter, that's exactly what we do. So much respect to Team Golovkin, but Team Jacobs, we have an amazing plan, and I'm looking forward to executing it. So thank everyone for being a part of this. Thank everyone for allowing us, just to grace you, because it's going to be an amazing fight come March 18th. Thank you.
Now you see why both of these champions are great ambassadors for the sport. I mean, they're such a great representative, and these two champions, really, when someone's looking to get into boxing, this is what they should aspire to be. Not only people that are exciting in the ring, but respectful and can carry the sport of boxing outside the ring. With Team Golovkin, I just want to acknowledge a few people on their side, Oleg and Max Herman, who've been extremely instrumental in Gennady's success, just providing that comfort level from the management side, making sure everything gets taken care of. Erica St. Philip, who works very closely to myself. Just a lot of people. It doesn't, just like Danny has a lot of people on his side. It's just for these champions to get into the ring, and you got two people in the spotlight, but there's a whole support staff behind them. So with that, I'd like to bring up the WBC, WBA, IBF, IBO middleweight champion of the world, Gennady Triple G Golovkin.
Thanks, Tom. Wow. Listen, today I understand. I'm very excited. No, too much. A lot of the best opponent. I'm very respect Daniel Jacobs team, the best teams, the best plays, Madison Square Garden, Mecca of Boxing, the best channel, HBO, pay-per-view, the best support, like Jordan family and Jordan brand, best company from Tecate. Too much, Well, today I understand. It's huge chance for me, for us, for everybody. I believe Daniel, he's ready for this fight, because I have 4 belts. This is dream for everybody, seriously. Very important for us, who is number one in the middleweight division. Just today, this time, not tomorrow, not future. This time, who's number one, who's the best. Thank you very much for everybody. Thank you very much for teams, for everybody. Just wow. Please, welcome to Madison Square Garden, March 18th. I promise, you'll look amazing show, history show, biggest step for us. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gennady. What can you say? This fight sells itself. Joel had asked me, there was someone, as I mentioned, it takes a large team and an integral part of the MSG team, and someone who saw the vision of what I had proposed when I said we'll bring the WBA middleweight champion here to Madison Square Garden is Sal Federico, which has been very integral part, and he works tirelessly every day and night when it leads up to one of these promotions. So with that, we're actually going to do something that we normally don't do, but because of the media turnout, I'd like to turn over the microphone to Bernie Barmacel, who will have some of the members of the media ask questions from either Team Jacobs or Team Golovkin before we wrap up the press conference.
Gennady, who's the biggest puncher that you fought so far? Who hit you the hardest in your fights?
I
I tried before, knocked out. Maybe in the future, maybe the next fight. I don't feel. Everybody has power, of course. Everybody. This is boxing. It's a very dangerous sport.
How you doing, George Willis, New York Post. And Danny, you said a while back that you weren't ready for the big fight. What have you done to make yourself ready for this chance?
Well, I simply just was active. I mean, when you go through the challenges that I went through with the cancer and being paralyzed and learning how to walk again and coming back, I mean, you're not going to fight the top guys right out, you know? So I understood that. So I knew that I needed some time to get the cobwebs out. I knew I needed some time to be back at that level. You can't go from, you know, what I've gone through to go back and fight the best of the best. It's impossible. So I understood that. I knew the severity of it. And I took my time and I made sure that when I was ready, we was gonna face and call out and challenge the best. And that's exactly where we are and that's exactly what we did.
You said that, Daniel, you knocked out Peter Cole in your biggest fight of the game in 1 round. Do you think you can match Gennady in push and punch? Are you going to continue to knock him out early?
Anything is possible in the sport of boxing. I think that this is a sport where you can't really predict anything, especially when you have 2 punchers. You never can really predict the outcome. But as long as I'm 100% physically, mentally prepared, I'm pretty sure I'll be victorious.
What did you learn in your loss, and how did you help you going forward?
I think anytime you go through a loss, there's so many things that you can learn from that loss, whether it's how do you prepare next time better, what mistakes you made inside the ring that you can do differently out. But ultimately, what I've learned from that fight was to make sure that your mental is intact before you go inside that ring. I had a lot of things outside of the ring with my grandmother passing away. Obviously at that time it was a rough time for me, so I just wasn't mentally prepared. So that was the biggest lesson that I learned from my loss. And I've been victorious ever since.
So with that, we're gonna wrap up the press conference. We are gonna bring up both fighters and the camps here to do the face-off and to pull us for photos in front of all the photographers. Thank you very much for coming out. We appreciate your support for the event.
On March 18, the 2 best middleweights in the world collide at Madison Square Garden. The most feared man in boxing, undefeated middleweight champ Gennady Triple G Golovkin, returns to the mecca of boxing to face his most dangerous challenge. Brooklyn, the Miracle Man Daniel Jacobs, will look to make history and become the king of the middleweight division. Middleweight Madness, Golovkin versus Jacobs, March 18th at the Garden. For tickets, visit thegarden.com.
Benny.
Not yet, Bernie. Not yet, Bernie.
On the way back.
Good, yes, good.
Bernie, I need him to say something.
One more first.
Иди, я пошел по нему. Иди спать.
Yeah, we're good.
Мой не звонит. Давай, давай.
Straight down, guys. Straight down, please.
Ethan, time to get you guys to go. Without the trainer. Straight back, Eddie. Tommy.
Thank you, gentlemen. Do some videos for each side. Gennady will be on this side, Gennady will be on the other side.
Okay, no problem. Let's go.
Sigmund.
Yeah.
What, 34, 35?
No, but what I need.
Gino got punched out by a teammate. Once he didn't get him a fair shake, I'm going to listen to it. No one punches Patrick except for himself. There's only punches for all these receptions. Why are you throwing that? How's he so smart? It's Patrick, the dumbest guy I ever saw. He's looking down at it. He knows his cover kid's throwing right at the other guy, right at the corners. You tell me how that's possible. No one talk. What are you talking about? This is going to be really fun. Good stuff. Thank you again. We'll see. Yeah, before this has got the
Yeah, I was saying right behind you, man. Yeah. I was hiding from everybody. How you feeling, man? Everything's good. Happy New Year, man. What's up, champion? Everything's good? Good to see you, man. Who y'all got? Who y'all got for, you got somebody for the undercard? You came in with Badu. You know Mike, what Mike is, right?
Boxing voice in the house. What up, man? Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Good to see you. You're looking good, man.
Thank you.
Okay, they're walking out now. Maybe I'll catch him this way.
Yeah, that's kind of.
That was a nice press conference, wasn't it? They're all so confident.
I think it ends in 3 rounds. I don't know. I don't know.
You like her hair? She got her own hair.
I got a few minutes? I've been texting you. I wanted to get you on the show.
Let's do it. What's up?
All right, so we're live here with Chris Algieri. Obviously, you've been making headlines coming in as Daniel Jacobs, strength and conditioning coach. Well, not strength and conditioning, but more nutritionist. Or are you going to also play a chef role? I follow you on Instagram. I see the dishes. Are you going to be preparing his meals?
Yeah, so we're designing the whole meal plan for what the camp's going to look like week by week, getting him ready to make the weight easily, be able to perform at his absolute best. And luckily for Danny, I'm a good cook too, so we're going to prep up the meals, and he's going to eat better than he's ever eaten before for this camp, and like I said, make weight easy.
Now, is this a new stage in Chris Algieri's life? Is this a transition? Because we've seen Julius the Chef Jackson kind of transition from boxing to now being a full-time chef. Maybe is this your new role, a nutritionist for star fighters?
Actually, this has been something that I've been doing for a while, and I've actually worked with a lot of fighters in the UFC, in the Bellator organization, and MMA. I've been working with some boxers over the years. I just kind of kept it to myself. This is obviously the biggest stage and the most recognition we're getting for this, but this is something that I've actually been doing for years during my own career.
But would this take the forefront for Chris Algieri, or is boxing still a part of it?
Oh no, boxing is definitely still in the near future. I needed some time off, so I wanted to keep involved with the sport, and this has been the best way possible. You know, I'm still around for the big fights, and my name's still getting thrown around. Just trying to get back into position to get some fights under my belt.
Speaking of your name being thrown around, obviously your name is making headlines with Andre Berto. You know, he's coming off that Mayweather pay-per-view, a knockout of Victor Ortiz. Sounds like a good name to get you back in the forefront, but is it too tough of a fight coming off of what happened with you last year with Earl Spence? Do you want kind of a tune-up, maybe an Eric Bonet type of fight to just get ready?
No, I just want to get busy, honestly. You know, the in terms of who's going to be is not really up to me. I just want to get some fights on the back. Momentum is a big part of the sport. When I made my title run, I had a lot of fights, you know, back to back to back. And just like Danny was saying about coming off of you know, his cancer, he needed to get busy and be more active, so he felt comfortable in the ring for the big fights. I mean, I think it's across the board. That's how every major fighter has to have the mentality.
Now, taking your New York City bias out, I mean, what sort of chance do you give Danny? He's hiring a super team with you being the nutritionist, you know. Now he has Virgil Hunter also in the corner. Rozier's been there for years. What sort of chance do you really give him? Again, bias outside.
Taking everything away from it, you know, just from knowing the guy and knowing the guys, just think of style versus style. I think, you know, for one, Danny has the power to get his respect, to get Triple G's respect early. Plus, he has the boxing skills and the size. So you couple that all together, and he really does have a good chance.
All right, Chris. Well, thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Talk to Tim? On the record. To who? Talk to Tim? No, I want to talk to Nelson. Eden Nelson.
You doing all right? Thanks, guys. You doing all right? All right. This is great.
How you doing?
Good for you guys.
2 minutes?
Hold on 1 second. Let me just run around real quick.
When do you want to fight again?
Yes. I mean, right now, I really got to put my ball onto that. This is how big of a fight is. Thank you for the magnitude is so large that getting involved in other fighters, I'm in this camp. So that's going to be precedence right now.
And then he's going to San Francisco, like right after.
So really, he's not in New York anymore.
He's not in New York. He's not going to be in New York.
At the right times, and also with him on fights before making weight.
What's the secret? Is it Twinkies?
It's rice-a-roni.
Rice-a-roni?
Rice-a-roni, yeah, that's the secret right there.
And avocados?
Some avocados for sure.
But what if a guy don't like avocados, bro?
Find something else.
You don't force them?
No.
That's not the superfood.
I don't force anything. There's always options.
All right.
So you want to keep on fighting now? This is kind of a little used to, or you want to keep on doing this with more fighters, or how do you see this thing?
This this came about, and really I wouldn't take something on at this level if it wasn't Danny. You know, I've known Danny for years. Both New York guys have been on the same cards for years. If I'm going to be with someone day in and day out, I got to like the guy too. You know, so it just worked out that Danny is a good person as well as a great fighter. So this particular opportunity worked out. Something I do down the line, possibly, but it's going to be a case-by-case basis. But I'm looking to pursue my boxing career.
I heard on Paulie also, you might work with him for his next fight.
And as I was saying, I've actually worked with a lot of fighters. Not many boxers.
Coppinger. USA Today. What's your official pick?
You gotta think a second. I gotta think a second. Give me a minute.
Vladimir, your official pick?
Triple G middle rounds.
Middle round? No specific one?
Yeah, so I mean, I worked with athletes
Michael
in
Wood.
sports, but
New York Night at the Fights. What's your official pick? Was it Brooklyn Night at the Fights?
N1fights.com.
And you have the same.
That too. You gotta go with the guy who hasn't lost, man. Gonna go with Triple G, and the other guy's been stopped before, so
I think
maybe he gets stopped again.
Is that 8-1 just?
I work with appreciate that.
8-1, is it justified?
Big part of
Until it isn't, it is. Yeah, baby.
Having an athlete be honest.
Breaking news, Mitch Abramson. What is your official pick for this one?
It's going to be a good fight, very competitive, but I think I'm going to go with Triple G.
Top boxers falling
Yeah,
into
can we get any expert to pick against Golovkin today? How's it? Excuse me, Tom. Can I have your official pick for this fight?
I don't make picks for fights because sometimes I'll work with fighters' dressing room and reach the hard feelings. Somebody says,
But if I was your bestest friend and you wanted to help me put a bet, where should I lean that money?
I would not do it. I mean, maybe when you didn't have your camera and we were just
No problem. No problem. No problem. All right. Thank you.
If you're doing it, Jake.
Excuse me.
The boxing skills.
Paulie Malignaggi. Can I get your official pick for this one?
I don't have an official pick. I got to keep score. I'm neutral.
All right.
Boys, people are giving you a hard time.
I know, right? It's hard to get anybody to pick against Danny in this fight, right? They'd rather just let it play out.
Probably, yeah, like Thursday or Friday, yeah.
He's walking the back. He walked off Triple G. I don't know if he's coming back, but he started walking back there, man.
Now, who was that?
Who? Chris Algieri. Chris Algieri. Oh. Yo, Brooklyn out at the fights. What's your official pick?
Going with Jacobs, 10th 11 round stoppage.
Wow, first person to pick Jacobs.
Yeah.
Hey, your official pick. Your official pick.
That was our goal. First time out in the second quarter.
Dios me da la paciencia, Dios me da los años. Quisiera tener muchos más campeones y traerlos a este nivel de boxeo.
Antes de despedirme, quiero preguntarle cómo usted ve el boxeo específicamente a nivel de Latinoamérica en estos momentos.
Desafortunadamente hay muchos problemas con el negocio del boxeo. Hay muchos boxeadores que son buenísimos, pero el negocio del boxeo.
Hey, tell your grandpa to come to the pizza with us.
Well, don't break his hip out there, so he's on batting practice.
Yeah. So what do you
Huh? Where? I ain't hear him. Yeah, wait, they in the back? Oh, he left?
Kid, and like Mike didn't sign
Yo, what's your official pick? What site you were with?
True Boxing Heads.
True Boxing Heads, what's your official pick?
For this fight, Golovkin, late rounds, knockout.
Official pick. What site?
Pre-boxing.
Pure boxing?
Pre-boxing.
Pre. Official pick.
Golovkin.
What round?
6th round.
Thanks.
You want to last longer?
Yeah, of course.
I mean, what do you see there?
Where's he at?
Shit sucks. I just don't get Ak from SiriusXM. This is 50.com. The Sweet Scientist with Ak and Barack. We're here live at the
Gennady Golovkin.
Why you whispering?
Man, I don't want to yell, you know what I'm saying? I'm shy,
What's your
man.
official
I'm
pick,
shy.
man?
I'm shy.
35 consecutive knockouts. What's your official pick?
My official pick.
Stop picking with your heart.
My official pick is that the fight is going to be an excellent fight. Don't miss it.
You're being political.
March 18th.
You're being political.
You know what it is? I like to make my prediction on fight week because I like to see the guys during the fight week, the weigh-ins, the press conference. I'll make my pick then. It's your boy Ak.
Man, you went the political route.
ThaBoxingvoice.
The biggest boxing Instagram in the boxing industry right here. Mark. Mark, what's going on? Boxing memes. Let everybody know where they can follow you. And what's the official pick, man?
I'm gonna go with I love Danny, but see Golovkin taking him out mid-rounds. 8-9 rounds.
All right, thank you.
Just like that's what they try to get for, you know, before you try to, you know, focus it out, trying to snap something up. So I don't know, maybe.
Now, you know, we take sparring as a moment. I might have to spar 6 rounds. What I'm saying, I'm happy with the focus on any particular day. I might say, come on, let's get out. Thank you.
Yo, this dude disappeared, man.
Well, Virgil offered his and I've not been on I've known Andre Moore for 23 years. Andre Moore,
Man, I've been so low from the scene.
a big brother. Just to be
It's going to be your toughest fight to test?
I believe so. On paper, it definitely is going to be one of the toughest challenges. His style is a very tough style, so I just have to use my best abilities and make it work for me.
When you look at his style and what he brings into the ring, what's going to be your biggest concern?
Obviously, his power is the biggest concern. That's what he's beating a lot of people with the most. But also, I think that a lot of people involved in mentally be beaten before they even step in the fight. So I can get my mental, physically, everything is right here. Man, it's going to be a great night for me.
He's fought 5 times here. You're from Brooklyn. Who has the home ring advantage?
I have the home ring advantage. I mean, he's going to have a lot of people here. I'm going to have a lot of people here. But at the end of the day, you know, this is New York. You know, there's a lot of biased people in New York. As you see in the Apollo, you could be from Brooklyn, right? People will be booing you if you don't do good. So they keep it real. And that's what I love about my New Yorkers. But I'm going to do the best I can do on fight night. And I'm going to have that support system in my New York.
Last question. Yeah. If there's one thing you want to focus on in training, bring into the ring that night, what is it going to be?
Just my best attributes, what I do best. I'm not going to try to do anything different. If there needs to be a plan A or plan B, we're going to go into that. But the main objective is to use my strength to minimize his. Thank you very much.
Is this that fight the biggest one you've been waiting for?
This is the pinnacle of the sport as far as best fighter fighting the best fighters. HBO pay-per-view. Everything is lining up for it to be a mega fight. I'm just hoping that, you know, it turns out to be exactly that. I want people to be able to talk about this fight 15, 20 years from now.
Thank you, Jen.
Thank you, guys. I'm sorry, guys. I got to go back to you. I'll take care of you guys soon. All right,
Good luck.
Hey.
Solid, bro.
No, it's solid.
You never seen my I put a before and after myself. You ever seen that one? Yeah, it was a long time. It was a long time. Yeah, 21. That was
Trust me, I'm the
Dre, when y'all leaving?
I'm leaving tonight. I'm leaving next week.
The sight in the game, 'cause see the box